What's up, gamers? These cold streets are filled with crime, evil, and homeless people around every corner. Only I can save these cruel-ridden streets through ethical investigation, moral interrogation, and physical relocation. We've got it all, from the missing items, cheating, and the casual satanic ritualistic cult killings, and after a day's work, inching closer and closer to cash out my retirement fund, I take a nice swig of beer, steal a hammer, and greet the economically unfortunate to the concept of medical bills. Because in a city owned by a mega corporation, our president happens to be the owner of Starch Cola, which is said mega corporation. There's some crazy in-depth lore. To put it simply, the English and French are friends, and now the city is unsavable. Our goal is to gather enough pity pennies from people so we can retire from this place. And because working at a restaurant or anything else pays in moldy air and dust, we're now detectives in the same vein that war profiteers are businessmen. Strictly speaking, my conduct as a Curious George was less than legal. To start, I create my character. His name, Simon Cowell. This is relevant as halfway through my game, I started naming my saves in relation to the current case, which led to the notorious string of Simon Cowell cheating case 1, Simon Cowell cheating case 2, Simon Cowell cheating case 3, and Simon Cowell 900 pages. Next up, you create a city. You have a choice, custom generated or pre-made. Pre-made cities are set in stone but won't screw you over. Custom generated cities are more unique, but you risk fucking up the hotels. I should know because half the resident database is missing and there just happens to be another green-eyed diabetic that lives in the same hotel. I check the database, only one other person fits the description and they're not the culprit either. Once you start a world as a detective, your goal is simple: solve crime and slowly increase your reputation and money until you can retire. You can find most jobs in restaurants, bars, hotels, and City Hall. These can range from my rubber duck is missing to someone contorted grandmother into a toaster and now there's spooky words on the wall. In order to find your culprit, you're going to need some tools to help you. Over time, you'll be able to gather other gadgets, but for now, you'll start with 5 lockpicks, mystery whatever they do, and a fingerprint scanner. No, it won't tell you who the fingerprint is owned by, just that it's owned by someone at all. But that would be the point of a detective, and to gather all your factual and logical thoughts, you have the pin board. The pin board is where you can pin all your evidence, considering you'll be spending 75% of the time collecting information on names, locations, descriptions, evidence, passwords, pictures, photos, your IP address. Without the board, you might as well not play the game. However, in order to get this information, you need to do some undercover work, which may include a lot of rules being swept under the rug. It's a bit difficult to explain as each and every case may require you to enact different tactics to further your payday. But before that, we're going to talk about everything else, including your best friend, City Hall. Bleak. City Hall is always guaranteed at the spawn of every map. Here you can find all the essentials for your heroic takedowns, such as pamphlet forms, new gear, and restockables. Hey, you'll never know when you need a baton for your undercover detective work, and who could forget the government citizen database, which has the details on almost every person on the map, except the homeless. Can't be giving them any ideas now, can we? So it's a good thing the password is well secure and hidden on this board. Additionally, while doing investigations, you might find safes. In these safes, you'll have a chance to find sync disks and sync disk upgrade vials. These can upgrade you, giving you the choice between 2 options, whether through storage capacity, money, or the police special. Keep in mind that these upgrades will also come with their own drawbacks. Upgrade vials enhance your cybernetic augments to the next level, up to a max of 3. You can also buy sync disks from the Sync Disc Clinic if you're desperate. Be sure to keep those. As you complete cases, you'll gain more money, and you can go to City Hall and head to the vending machine. Except instead of buying 5-day-old Nutella and lukewarm fizzy drinks, you can buy handcuffs, lockpicks, bulletproof vests, baton, camera, and a door stopper. Would you believe me if I told you that the lockpicks are the most valuable item on that vendor? I haven't talked about many of the other small mechanics and features you can do, simply because it would be like trying to string together intrusive thoughts into a coherent explanation. It can't have been an inside job because the plane was too big. So instead of trying to do that, I'm going to retell my investigative journeys throughout this city. Oh yeah, and don't get any of these. These are negative status effects. Usually, they are the result of 12-hour gaming binge sessions, where there are physical limitations of our bodies come back to bite me, like hygiene and food or water, or security threats. You can remove them by either consuming something, showering, or extreme patience. A vicious killer, a hunter, Arlie Curtin, was found dead in their apartment with nothing but a shaving knife next to their corpse. This case was going to be a tough one, if it weren't for the fact that the CCTV camera was right outside their room, as well as recorded footage of the killer in the act, forgetting to close the door. It took me longer to find Bowles Tower, where she lives, than to figure out her identity. Run in, break into the security room, check the resident file system, and like magic, there she is. Overall, I'd rate this killer a retard out of 10. I saw a commission on a board. They needed someone to retrieve a case. The goal was simple: identify the one receiving the case, then collects the case, drop it off at the telephone box, and the findings at Lou Towers. A simple case. To start, I waited for the man carrying the case in question. There he is. So I trace him and snap a photo of the two in action. But I was patient. You see, there was a camera tower not far from the transaction. So instead of brute force, I'd play smart. I'd use the camera footage to take a photo of the culprit and ask people for the general residency. Then, head to the apartment in question and check the resident database. This was a complete failure of an operation because the security camera hasn't loaded the footage because not everyone works at NASA. So I took the old-fashioned route. But what was in the case? Thousands of dollars ripe for the taking. So, in an act of defiance, I took the money and attempted to find shelter by entering the sewers. But they don't exist because in this world, the vents do their jobs for them, and I don't think I'm going to make it far out of here alive. I'd go for a third case, but I'm too mentally stunted in all the best places to be stunted, and I'd rather keep my disappointments private. My IQ is simply not high enough, or rather, my patience. I was doing this case where someone was killed by a stalker, and they had a diary describing the stalker as average height, and short something. I also found the victim's mailbox had a different fingerprint compared to the victim and partner, so all I need to do is find the average build, average height, short hair, or at least the average height, short combination, ask around, find the CI fingerprint. It's been 10 suspects later and still no confirmation. And I can feel my blood pressure inversing from the annoyance. Yes, I could go buy a house and have a relaxing shower, but factually speaking, there's never been a better time to go homeless throughout history than right now. And while there are no mods to immediately solve a case, there are a lot of mods for you to download right from the comfort of your starting screen. In short, this game is a newspaper out of 10. As always, the sweatshop never stops production, and enjoy your next video.